Ada for telling my father and stepmother that I'll exchange the gift they bought for my daughter. My daughter is turning 5 later this month. We have a trip coming up, so we decided to have her birthday party last Saturday instead. When we got home after the party, we helped our daughter open her gifts. The only ones she didn't open were the ones we realised were jewellery or clothing. She doesn't care about those, only the toys which me and my husband opened without her. Those were gifted mostly by family members. The jewellery department mainly consisted of necklaces and bracelets. The sole exception was a pair of earrings, gifted by my father and his wife. My daughter's ears aren't pierced. We didn't pierce them when she was born, nor do we intend to do so anytime soon. We want to let her decide whether she wants to, and she's never expressed any interest. So me and my husband already knew we'd be exchanging the earrings. Usually, we don't tell people we're exchanging a gift they bought for us. This time is different. My stepmother has been pestering me about piercing my daughter's ears since she was born. There's always a different reason why. First, it was because people wouldn't know she was a girl if we didn't. Then it turned into she'll get jealous of her friends, and so on. But she always makes the point that girls need to have their ears pierced. She brings it up almost every time we see her. My father usually doesn't comment on it, but has backed her up a few times. Also, my stepmother's never complained about my older son's appearance, so I know this is rooted in sexism. When my father called us the next day to ask what we thought of the earrings, I told him they looked nice. My stepmother joined in and asked, "So you're getting her ears pierced?" I tried to dodge the question, but she later asked it again. So, I told them no. I looked at the store's website and found a matching necklace, which we'll exchange the earrings for. There's a price difference, but I'll cover it. Well, they weren't happy. Apparently, my stepmother started crying. My father told me off for thinking about exchanging a thoughtful gift he bought for his granddaughter and said it was wrong of me to dismiss my stepmother's opinion like that. In return, I told them I couldn't take her insistence anymore and she needed to stop obsessing over my daughter's ears. It escalated into a fight. My husband, while 100% on my side otherwise, thinks I didn't need to tell them. Ada headed, the party took place at a kids' party venue, not at our home. We're not from the US, and it's not common to open gifts in front of guests around here. I didn't mean an incentive for my daughter to use them, I meant an incentive for my stepmother to further pester us about it. If I kept the earrings, we'd certainly get more attempts to push us to pierce her ears. My daughter has nothing against jewellery. She loves necklaces and bracelets. But I'm not giving her something she can't use just because her grandfather and his wife think she should have it. The earrings weren't a thoughtful gift, as my father calls it. They were a manipulation tactic. They weren't actually thinking of my daughter when they bought the earrings. I'm not showing them to my daughter because I know their only purpose was to pressure her and myself into something she doesn't want. Update 8 days later. I want to thank everyone who commented on my previous post. A few days after I wrote, I called my father. I told him that both him and his wife were out of line, and that any further attempts to overrule my and my husband's parenting will have consequences. We're both more than willing to limit their contact with our children if they don't stay in their lane. We did end up fighting about it, but I put my foot down. Eventually, my father agreed. A few days later, he sent me an apology via text and offered to cover the price difference between the earrings and the necklace. I declined. I also discussed the situation with my husband. We both agreed to check whatever gifts our kids get from my father and his wife in the future. Better safe than sorry. My husband and I exchanged the earrings for the matching necklace during the weekend. Our girl loved it. We filmed her wearing it and thanking my father and his wife and sent them the video. My father sent us an audio, "You're welcome, honey, I love you," etc. In response, my stepmother didn't reply, nor do I expect her to. Also, you guys are absolutely right. There's no way in hell either of them are ever babysitting my kids. But yeah, I think this is over. Thank you for reassuring me that I was right to hold my ground. Boyfriend 21 hung out with my bully 21F and kept it from me. So sorry if this is long, I'll try to keep it short. I'm currently in a long-distance relationship with my BF March 28th, 2024 because we're in different colleges. Today morning I asked him what time I should call him in the evening, and he said he had plans to meet someone. I asked who, and he said an old friend. I said, "Oh, from school?" He told me no, she's a family friend. I said okay, and didn't think anything of it. My BF does these solo outings with his female friends a lot, where he goes on one-on-one hangouts with them, so I didn't think anything of it. I've never had any problems with it before because I'm not a jealous person and I trusted him. But now I'm rethinking that. A few hours ago, I was scrolling on Insta and switched over to my photography account and noticed my BF had posted a story. I opened it and it was a repost of a picture of him sitting in some restaurant drinking a milkshake, and the caption on it was "Milkshake Stealer." I see the account that posted it, and it's the girl that bullied me all throughout middle and high school. I literally had a panic attack after I saw that. I'm still in shock. Also, for context, I've been dating my BF since senior year of his. When we started dating, the bullying stopped because he was kind of the popular guy and I was dating him. He knew of her, but wasn't friends with her. I told him about the bullying, and he even joked once that he saved me from her. So he knows what she's done to me, and how I almost landed in the psych ward because of this girl, and he still lied to me about meeting her. When I switched back to my main account, I noticed he had blocked me from his story, but he probably forgot to block my photography account, and that's why I saw it. I haven't confronted him with it, because he's asleep, but I'm feeling so betrayed and hurt right now. I can't even type properly because I'm shaking. I don't know what to think. If I'm more upset at him hanging out with her or keeping it from me, or both. I usually pride myself on being a chill girlfriend despite my insecurities, but I'm really upset right now. So I ended up pulling an all-nighter because of anxiety and decided to call him immediately after he was up. This is how the conversation went. I asked him if he had blocked me from his story, and he denied it, so I told him I saw it from my second account and he went silent. Then he asked me if I was mad at him. If I hadn't posted here and gotten feedback from you all, then I would have probably downplayed it, but I was firm with him. I said of course I was mad. What did he think? He's hanging out with someone who ruined my life. He said you're twisting it way out of proportion. This is why I didn't want to tell you. I asked how. He said he was just meeting someone who asked to meet up because she was in the area and he couldn't say no. Edit. Oh my god, really big detail. I forgot to mention. When he was justifying meeting up with her, his reason was that he befriends everyone, so it's not exclusive to her. And he also told me she seems like she's a changed person. How did I forget to mention that when I wrote this? Sorry, my brain is all muddled up. I just remembered this because of another comment. We kept arguing back and forth and he kept gaslighting me, which I noticed more now, and I finally told him that he broke my trust and betrayed me, and I want to break up. I was expecting him to be mad, but he said if that's what you want. That just made me cry more, and I asked, do you not care about me at all? He said I do, but not when you're disrespecting me like this. He also got mad at me for confronting him straight after he woke up, but I really couldn't wait, because the anxiety was eating me up. I think what he said at the end that stung the most was that don't dump your insecurities onto me. I'm not your therapist. He has said this before as well, when I've tried to talk about issues in our relationship, where he's told me not to come to him for that. I was like, who else do I talk to about my relationship problems other than the guy I'm dating? He said it, but not me. Go to a therapist. That never made sense to me, but I believed him, because I didn't want to lose him. In the beginning of the relationship he would be there for me when I was anxious or depressed, but in the past year and a half, every time I'm down, he tells me to not come to him. Is that normal? I know he was not my therapist, and I wouldn't dump my problems on him, but I just wanted some support. Anyway, I don't want to make this long. If you want specifics of the conversation, I can write them in the comments. I'm still nauseous and shaking, so I'm having a hard time typing this. Sorry if it's a bit messy. He was so mean to me just now, that even though I'm grieving the relationship, I'm glad I broke up with him. I don't think I want to be with someone who's so mean to me after all the bullying I've endured in my life. Also, if any of you are worried about me, please don't be. I'm at home right now, thankfully, and my mom is helping me. Thank you again for being so supportive. I really wasn't expecting so much of it. You all are amazing. Edit. I hadn't blocked him yet, but he just blocked me on all socials. Update to edit. He just unblocked me and started calling me on Instagram when he realized I blocked his number. I finally blocked him back. I'm feeling really anxious and overwhelmed, but I think I've made the right decision.